The only reason, like I said, the only reason I don't hate Sony, man, is because like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, and I think they also took, they're partly responsible for Spider-Man PS4.
They're also responsible for Venom. But at least, at the very least, the good thing. I'm not saying shit, right? I mean, I may have seen the film, but I'm not saying shit.
You saw it. Is it good though? Is it good?
It's good if you turn your brain off.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. Okay. Well.
But another topic for another time.
So like, I really feel like we should have waited to do the adaptions one till after Venom came out. I don't know if I feel like it should have been included.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, thanks to like Dark Tower, it took up a majority of the time.
You know, it's funny you mentioned Dark Tower. Before we get into it, sorry about that. You know, I'm sorry to the audience too. That wasn't planned. You know, I didn't even want to talk about Dark Tower. You know, but
I mean, the plan was we were just mainly going to talk about like the works of Stephen King, and it was and we were supposed to like end it in a more positive note, but our passion for the Dark Tower book series,
my rage mostly,
it just took us brought out I can't say the worst of us, but
it brought the worst in me. I'll say that right off the bat. It brought out and forgive me again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It was just way too much.
I let go. I'm gonna try to be more restrained this time.
Well,
because I am upset. You know,
fingers crossed.
Right off the bat, you know, I'm not happy right now. So a little disclaimer, okay, before we get started. Mm-hmm. I don't hate Sony, okay? I love Sony. I have a PlayStation, you know, I'm all about Sony.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want Sony to succeed, but it's almost like Sony doesn't want itself to succeed, if that makes any sense.
It's it's like there are answers that Sony could take, and yet they're very reluctant to even consider it.
Yeah. You know, I want to thank you, Eric, because okay, so I saw it the first time, mm-hmm. and I hated it. I hated it. But then I remembered something you said. I think you said it in the adaptions video, mm-hmm. where it's Venom's good if you turn your brain off.
Pretty much.
So I had that in my head, but I went a little step further. I didn't just turn off my brain. You know, I don't know if you remember Mark Hamill. I'm pretty sure everyone knows how vocal he was about his disappointment in
The Last
Jedi and Luke Skywalker's treatment, the way he was written. And, you know, it was something real important because in an interview he said, you know, the only way I could get through it is if I told myself, this isn't my Luke Skywalker, this is Jake Skywalker. And I feel the exact same way about Venom. You know, this wasn't Eddie Brock, this was Teddy Brock. And the Venom symbiote wasn't it wasn't my Venom symbiote. It was Biohazard. Biohazard.
There you go, yeah.
Biohazard.
I mean, it's still dangerous, but it's curable. Maybe.
It's a little intimidating, you know what I mean? Not really. Venom is serious, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Venom, you don't come back from Venom. You know, also they make him the good one out of his whole race, you know mm-hmm. what I mean? Because you know, doesn't Riot call him the rebel or something
more or less. He's the outlier of the of this Venom race.
Which you know, they changed it. You know what I mean? The reason Venom in the comics is so scary because his race is supposed to be peaceful. Mm. You know, it benefits it's I forgot what the word is, but it's where both organisms benefit from the union. I think symbiosis. I don't know, but mm-hmm. the point is, but Venom is the outcast. In fact, I think in Secret Wars, it's revealed a little later that Spider-Man found him because he was cast out of his race, mm-hmm. of his society for being crazy. You know what I mean? So they changed it. You know what I mean? And it took the Venom out of the Venom. You know, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. No, I understand. Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know, man. Like,
it's clear that there have been like mixed opinions like in regards to Venom the film, and I can see why. Like, I mean, like first time around, like watching it, I was more or less like entertained. Funny enough,
you know, yeah. Like when I watched it with that mentality, this is Teddy Brock and the symbiote Biohazard. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not gonna say it's good.
No. Even I would defend this film.
Mediocre at best. I'm gonna stick with that.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, okay. It's mediocre. It's funny how how last episode we were just talking about adaptions. If we were to include Venom into that into that pool,
it would be an hour and a half, man. Like it would be so long.
And not just that, it's kind of a piss poor attempt at Venom as a character.
I'm seeing an ongoing theme with Sony, and even with Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider was good, but it's it was good because they got lucky. You know, I'll be honest. You know,
at least they had the decency to adapt the games. At least they follow it well, very loosely, but at least have a general idea of what it's about.
Yeah. You know, like I said, I'm seeing an ongoing trend with a lot of Sony movies. Is that at first they're really into it, you know what I mean? Yeah, let's do this. And then at the last minute they kind of hesitate and then lose faith in themselves and kind of backtrack. You know, it's like, let's say Sony is a rookie on a baseball team.
Right.
It's their first time playing on an official baseball team and they're pumped. They're like, yes, let's do it. You know, and then the pitch, the balls they throw at them are movies. Yeah, and depending on how good he hits them, you know, it could be like a home run is like a 10 out of 10. You have to see it, you know.
Yeah, let's say for example, one ball would be Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. That one's that one's a home run.
Yeah, that was a home run. You guys have to go see it. I'll say it right now. Yeah, it's a good movie. I saw it. Yeah. But,
and then meanwhile, the Dark Tower is kind of like...
hold on. Oh,
God.
1 second. You can't use Dark Tower in this analogy.
No?
It doesn't work.
Well,
let me explain.
Okay.
So, you know, again, going off that basis, a home run's have to go see it, you know, whereas a strikeout is don't waste your money. Dark Tower is if he went up to the mat without a freaking bat. They didn't try at all. You know, again, I think Sony got really eager to do Dark Tower. I think, you know, I'll try to make this quick because we already talked about Dark Tower, but you know what I mean? They like the idea of having their own Lord of the Rings. You know, because a lot of times it's compared to Lord of the Rings.
Well, to be fair, a lot of major motion picture studios want to have their version of the Lord of the Rings.
Exactly, and you know that's more power to them. But if you're gonna make your own Lord of the Rings, you have to put the effort into it. Like I said in the adaptation, I don't think they even read the story. I think they opened up the book, you know, the flap where it's a book summary. They read there, or they went on Cliff Notes and just got what they thought was the most exciting, you know, flashy scenes and elements. You know what I mean? The flashiest scene is Algo Siento, you know, Blue Heaven. Okay. That's flashy. Because it's at the end. That's a really big point in the films. You know what I mean? It took place in New York because I guess they were too lazy to build sets. Or even CGI. You know, you could have made a CGI. It wouldn't have been good. Don't get me wrong.
That would explain the budget, actually.
You know, it wouldn't have been it wouldn't have been good, but at least we would have had a little bit of Midworld. But they were too lazy. They want to make... That's my whole thing. They were too lazy. They wanted a free Lord of the Rings without putting any effort. You think Peter Jackson did Lord of the Rings, that masterpiece, by only giving 2% effort?
It would never have the same impact as it had right now.
He worked himself to the bone, and I think a lot of people did. I think the whole studio did because they wanted to not just maybe they wanted to make money, but they were willing to work for it. You know what I mean? Yeah, Sony didn't want to work for it. They wanted a free ride.
What's funny is that if you look back, right now, like after like more than 15 years later, the Lord of the Rings series is still like it still looks good.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't get old. You can watch it I can watch it any time. Because again, you know, when they bought the rights to Lord of the Rings, they bothered to read the story. You know what I mean? Same thing with Harry Potter. When I forgot the studio who did Harry Potter, but when they bought it, they bothered to read the book.
Oh, it was the same studio as Warner Brothers. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, the point is, they bothered to read the whole book. You know, they didn't just like kind of cliff notes or look
done
the back of the book for the summary or, you know, yeah. Like I don't think they even did that. I think they went on the internet and just clicked Dark Tower in the top results. The parts of it that people were talking about the most, that's what they put in the movie. Which, again, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's like...
If Into the Spider-Verse is a home run.
It's a home run, yeah.
Dark Tower is going in the field without a bat.
Exactly.
What's Venom?
Venom is a foul ball. They didn't put enough force. They doubted themselves and they got in their head. You know, it's happened to me. I think if you've ever played baseball, it happens, right?
Yeah.
You're up there, you're pumped, and then you get a bad thought like, oh, what if he throws me a curveball?
Yeah, you're having second thoughts about the situation.
Exactly. And then you're so in your head, you get distracted. You don't notice when he pulls back and lets the ball go, you know, when he shoots it at you. You're not ready, so you don't swing in time, and you either get it not at the angle, so it either goes way too over there, foul ball territory, or hit it at the very end of the ball, which again is gonna end up not where you want it to go is the point.
Pretty much,
you know what I mean? And the
trajectory is off.
Yes, exactly, and there's not enough force either, so it's not gonna go far. That describes Venom perfectly for me. You know, wasn't it supposed to be rated R? You know what I mean? Yeah, I think I remember, you know, people were excited because, supposedly it was going to be rated R and all this. And then, you know, maybe it's just me.
Right.
Maybe it's just me, but shortly after Spider-Man Homecoming and all those other movies,
they see
MCU.
They see how successful the other MCU films are doing.
They downgraded to PG-13 after that.
Because they wanted to have that piece of the pie.
I think it's safe to assume that Kevin Feige and the other people at Marvel, they had to fight tooth and claw just to have Spider-Man in Civil War.
No doubt, because licensing is such a nightmare nowadays.
And honestly, I think Sony was being a little jerk about it a little bit. You know, okay, we don't want you to use them, but we'll let you.
Here,
but you have your universe. And we have ours. You can't use any of the characters we're using. You can't show Uncle Ben. You know, you can't, all this stuff.
It's here, you can have Spider-Man, but you can't use Venom. You can't use Mysterio. Well, you're actually using Mysterio, actually. You can't use, this character. You can't use that character.
Way after.
Yeah.
They probably changed the...
They probably changed their mind, after the fact.
No, I know they changed their mind. You know, I don't know if you've seen that interview that just sums up this whole ridiculous... sad story.
Oh, yeah.
That interview with Kevin Feige, I think it was for not Far From Home, Homecoming.
No, it's Homecoming, because it was before, yeah.
Yeah, and Amy Pascal, I think was her name.
Yeah, I think a Sony representative.
Yeah, and, no hate towards her. I'm sure she's just doing her job.
We don't hate you, we understand that you're doing your job, we just hate Sony, the company.
We hate your boss. No, but the point is, so what happens is, again, assuming that's what, and I'm pretty sure that's what happened, they had to fight tooth and claw. It's you're Spider-Man, we're not gonna, don't even bring him near us, and don't even think about using our characters.
We want to use these characters for our universe.
Yeah. So that being said, they're being interviewed, and you can't blame the interviewer for asking that. I think a lot of fans wanted him to ask that. I think he himself was probably a fan.
Most likely, definitely.
He wanted to know, too. Is there a chance to see Spider-Man and Venom? Now, you see their immediate reactions. Kevin Feige's he's about to say no, but then Amy Pascal's there's always a chance. And then you see, Kevin Feige's reaction, and then he just goes along with it.
Okay.
Yeah, because, I think that sums it up, They saw how good all the other Marvel... all the Marvel movies were doing. And even after saying like, "Hey, your stuff is over there, our stuff is here. Don't mess with our stuff, and we're not gonna mess with yours."
Say what you will about like about about the Marvel films like that are going on like whether you hate them or not it doesn't matter because like in the end of the day it makes it's what sells. Like they're like at least they're like their formula on like creating like all these like films and how they're pumping it out like twice like a year or so is successful at a business standpoint.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't blame like Sony for chasing after that. But when you do, but what?
Okay.
But there's a difference between between what Marvel did and what Sony did for their films. For the MCU characters, they pumped them they pretty much built up their characters like all the way from Iron Man up until right now.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, with films like Venom, they didn't exactly put in the same amount of effort that the MCU did.
No, they did not. Because I have to reiterate it because it's you have to understand. I've been waiting for Venom for a while. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I think we covered that in Spider-Man PS4.
Yeah.
I wore a Spider-Man hat every day in elementary school. I became known as a Spider-Man hat kid. And I got made fun of, Eric. You have to understand, man. I got made fun of a lot. Did I care? No, because I love Spider-Man. I'm sorry. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, it's just that. No, it's just
it hurt. It hurt.
No, it's just hearing him talk about how big of a Spider-Man fan he is. It just tells me that his passion for the Spider-Man universe, maybe Marvel comics in general, his passion shows no bounds.
It doesn't. And I think a lot of Spider-Man fans feel the same way. Venom's one of my favorite characters. Because it's like a dark, evil version of Spider-Man, you know what I mean? It's Spider-Man's dark reflection, you know what I mean? So, that's why, again, we've been waiting for this for a long time. Was it worth it? Visually, maybe, because visually he does look good.
Yeah, at least aesthetically, this is probably the most badass Venom we've ever seen in a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, so, as you can guess, I'm trying to hold back right now because I don't want this to turn into another Dark Tower. I'm really you have no idea.
Well, to be fair, this we are mainly talking about Venom, so if you wanted to go on a rant that's more than warranted here.
It's bad, man. You have to understand, okay, Spider-Man 3, infamous, right?
Okay, very much so.
I would rather take that Venom over this Venom.
So wait, you're telling me that the 10 minutes that that Venom showed up actually actually convinced you that particular Venom is much more convincing compared to an hour, 2 hours of a Venom?
Exactly. And I'll stand by that. Let me explain.
Okay.
The story about Venom, at least in the beginning, where he first comes in contact with Peter Parker, with Eddie Brock, it's the story of the werewolf. Mm-hmm. There's this idea, something dark is taking over, something dark wants to come out. You can't control it. And even when it's inside, it's trying to make you do stuff, you know what I mean? Stuff you wouldn't normally want to do. And some people react differently to it. Mm-hmm. Peter Parker at first was like, yeah, but then he starts to take a look at himself no,
this isn't right.
Good. I have to be a role model. But then there's Eddie Brock. And I think that's why a lot of people fall in love with Eddie Brock, because he's the guy who got bit by the werewolf who wanted to be, wanted to have this power. He's yes, I like it. You know what I mean? I want this. Yeah. And but in the end of the day, it's the werewolf story. Mm-hmm. Something, you have these new dark urges, dark tendencies, and something that wants to come out, something that wants to take hold of you. I got that vibe, that feeling in Spider-Man 3. You know what I mean? Keep in mind, in Spider-Man 3, the Venom symbiote never talks. But I still got that vibe. It's the demon that's trying to take over you, yeah.
So
that's why it's called Venom.
So in that case, so in that aspect, the Venom that's in Spider-Man 3 reflects the comic book character much more.
And Eddie Brock, because here's the thing: Eddie Brock in the comics is a lunk. He's a tool. He's big. He's buff, and he thinks because he's buff, he gets to rule the world. He has anger management issues.
Would you say he's kind of like a school bully?
Yeah, I'd go as far as saying that. And in Spider-Man 3, he's played by Topher Grace.
Mm-hmm.
Some of you may know him from that '70s show as Eric Foreman.
Right.
He's not a buff guy. He's kind of lean, a little skinny. Not that there's anything wrong with it.
We can't say that he's skinny. He's kind of
I'm sick with skinny.
Pretty much hit him, really.
No. I'm fat compared to like he's lean.
My boy, do I have this?
Okay.
You see this?
Well, the point is, he's a lean guy. So physically, yeah, he didn't look like Eddie Brock, but the personality on
pretty much captured. Much captures
hit the nail on the head.
The essence of the comics.
Because he still was arrogant. He's a little more conniving. Because in the comics, Eddie Brock's not exactly a planner. He's sort of just take action.
Shoot first, ask questions later.
Exactly.
There we go.
This Eddie Brock was a little more manipulative, more like the sweet talker, but it worked. We didn't get that in this Venom, did we?
We did at first.
The first,
10,
15 minutes?
15-ish, maybe.
Then, Venom comes in, takes over him, and,
then he kind of turns into, a wimp.
Yeah. He turns... What's the word? You know what felt... And, the crazy thing is, I started looking up to see what other people thought about it, and the craziest part, a lot of people hated it. That goes without saying. A lot of people hated it. But the thing is, a lot of people say that one of the only good things about the film was the relationship between Eddie Brock and Venom, the symbiote. And that made me lose my mind. Because, like I said, it's supposed to be the idea of this dark version of you trying to get you to do stuff you would normally do, trying to take over you. You know what? The vibe I got from the relationship in this movie, it was a real Sherlock Watson type of vibe. You get me? With Venom being Sherlock.
Oh yeah, and Watson.
Watson.
Mm-hmm.
He's just along for the ride, and they make him. He turns a little goofy, doesn't he? A little awkward. A little
actually. For a serious comic book film, he does feel kind of out of place.
He turns a little,
we probably shouldn't do that. Or hey, look, we don't kill him.
There's a part where in the trailer where the tentacle comes out, Venom tentacle comes out, and he hits one of the guy, and he just goes well, I don't know, And where have we seen that before? Think, Eric, honestly, where have you seen that before? I'll give you a couple hints.
Okay, then.
They're recent movies. They're also comic book movies.
I'd probably say Spider-Man and maybe
Guardians of the Galaxy, maybe?
Peter
Quill. Another one is Scott Lang, Ant-Man, Paul Rudd.
Yeah, a lot of these and
before I say anything,
okay,
you need to understand. I'm not saying it's bad to do that. No, a lot of people are copying Marvel on that.
Well, I mean,
I feel like we're seeing a lot more of those archetypes.
It'd be surprised. It would shock me if no one attempted to copy that kind of a character archetype.
Again, I'm not saying it's wrong. It's happening, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people are doing it. It's fine.
I mean, to be fair, not everything in Hollywood is ever that original anymore.
Yeah.
Don't lie to yourself.
But the point I'm trying to make is it's funny how and that's I think that's the part that gets me mad the most.
Oh God.
Is to think of all people to copy Marvel was the one studio that didn't want to be Marvel, that wanted to be their own independent thing, that wanted to keep everything separate. You have your things, we have ours, you can't use these. Of all people, Eric. I think that's what, it's super, super hypocritical. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
another analogy is coming to me. You know, when I'm really mad about something, I get like quick on my feet.
Oh yeah.
You know, it feels like that one kid who was talking smack to you during lunch, and you said, "Okay, I'm kicking your ass after school," and then the kid's like, "All right, bring it. You think I'm afraid of you?" And it's like, "Okay." Period one.
Yeah,
the rest of the periods go by.
And then after school comes around, and then
hey, what's up? It's like, oh, he acts all surprised, like he's a completely different person. Like, oh, what's up, dude? How's it going? You know? It's like, hey, I thought we're gonna fight, man. I told you I was gonna kick your butt. It's like, oh man, I forgot about that. You know, honestly, I thought we were just messing around. Messing around? No, you were being a complete jerk. And he's like, no, dude, you know, yeah, I was really stressed.
Yeah,
I think I ate something, and you know,
it's been a long day.
It's been a long day. I didn't mean any of that stuff. Honestly, you know, it's cool, man. Nah, man. Like, look, if you want, I'll give you all my money.
Or you know what?
I'll buy you lunch for the next month.
It's my treat.
It's my treat. You know, I'll give you my lunch money for the next month. You know, that's how I feel like Sony's acting right now.
Right.
With this whole situation. I don't know, man. You know, it's disappointing. It's disappointing.
Now I know that like that we've been talking a bunch of like negative stuff about like Venom, but there are legitimately like good parts about it, right? There has to be at least something positive. Like here,
I mentioned one, the whole relationship between Venom and Eddie, which was copied, of course. Everything good.
It was copied, but it was.
You have to understand.
Okay.
You need to understand. Oh. Even the small stuff, like even like the good stuff, how little it is, it was copied.
It was copied, yes, but it doesn't deny the fact that it was effective at it. Oh,
I don't know.
Well, granted, like it was minuscule compared to like the long list of like of problems that we have like for the film, but I'm the kind of guy that appreciates like the little things in life. Like for example, like the some of the fights that happen like in the film, like especially like during the third act where like spoiler alert. There were two Venom creatures going at it while like the hosts like also battle too. That part's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even the special effects for that fight were pretty badass too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But here, can I say something?
Go ahead.
So I'm gonna take a quote from one of my favorite movies, from Dust Till Dawn 2, Texas Blood Money.
Here we go. Oh, fuck.
So there's a scene where they're watching a movie.
Okay.
Right, and they're kind of
I think it was like I think the context of that was supposed to be like a pornographic film, right? I think that was like the original context.
Yeah. It doesn't show anything. It just shows them watching it.
Yeah.
Just to be clear. And I saw it a long time ago. Mm-hmm. So yeah. But the point is, they're waiting before the heist, right? They're planning, and then one of them goes like, "Man, I hate when this has no story." And then the main one goes, "It's a dirty movie. It's not supposed to have a movie. I mean, a story."
Yeah.
And then like the other one goes, "I'm with I forgot his name, but the character's name.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with him." You know, when you care more about the characters, you care more about the... So I'm going to get that quote, but I'm going to replace, obviously,
with Venom.
With fighting. Mm. You know, when I care more about the characters, I care more about the fighting. I didn't care about these characters. They're... No. Even as Teddy, Brock, and Biohazard. Mm. It's okay.
That's a fair argument. I mean, like...
It's like when you see two complete strangers fighting in the street. You know, you don't care. I mean, it's a little entertaining. Yeah, so, you know, I didn't care. They're alright. They're pretty well choreographed.
Yes, they are. They are. And you know what? There are people that are entertained by this as well. And look, if you like the film, more power to you. Mm-hmm. It just didn't It just didn't sway this guy right here. I was entertained. I didn't feel like it was a waste of money.
No, it is a waste of money. You need to understand, Eric. No. Listen. Okay. Here's my... I don't hate Sony. I don't hate Sony, man. I want Sony to succeed. I want them to be a big Hollywood studio.
Yeah,
that
pretty much among the greats.
Out,
among the greats like
blockbusters,
Universal, Warner Brothers.
I
Disney.
want that for them. But you know, here's my advice. If you decide to do something, do it. Shoot your shot, man. Like if you're gonna if you go up to the plate and then you start to doubt yourself, you're gonna mess up. You have to believe in yourself. You also this one goes for Dark Tower. You also got to put the work in. You got to do research about the story. If you have no idea what's happening in the story, how are you gonna do a movie about it?
Right.
The people who did Lord of the Rings, they read the books, all of them, and they're long books. Same thing with Harry Potter. The last few are like this thick.
I know.
My arm isn't even this thick, man.
I mean, it's so big they have to require two films to even complete it.
Yeah, exactly. But they read the freaking story.
Yes, but they have at least an understanding of what the story is all about.
They didn't read Dark Tower, man. But whatever. Just gotta stop talking about it. But the point is, going with Venom, going with Tomb Raider, going with all the other, Dark Tower is in the corner over that. Just forget about that.
Corner.
Forget about it.
You gotta take him. You gotta take him out in the back just to finish him off.
No, let's focus on the other movies. If you decide to do something, if you want to make your own universe, do it. Don't doubt yourself. And if you start thinking, oh, this isn't gonna work, we're gonna lose money, this and that. No,
you have
push those thoughts. Shoot your shot. Okay.
You have to have confidence in the craft that you're making, and
all right,
and lose that confidence, you'll just end up like all the other films that are less than successful.
You gotta believe in yourself, okay? You just
take that idea and make something out of it. Don't just push a half-assed product. Make a movie that you yourself want to see.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And with that, well, I mean, do we even bother giving a score? I mean, we managed to put out a bunch of negative criticism onto this movie, and and just judging from the way that you just expressed it, it just sounds like you're gonna give it a 2 or something.
I let go, man. I was trying. My Venom came out, man.
Clearly.
I'm sorry. All right, I'm better now. I'm not gonna give it a 2. I'm not gonna give it a. Damn, I'm getting lightheaded. Oh. Okay, I'm not gonna give it a really low score. I'm not gonna give it a good score.
Okay,
I'm gonna tell you that right off the bat.
Okay.
So you want me to go first then?
Go ahead.
A 5.
Mediocre.
At best. And that's having watched it with that mentality. This is not my Eddie Brock. This is Teddy Brock.
Right.
That Mark Hamill mentality. This is not my Venom symbiote. It's the Biohazard Venom symbiote. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Watching it like that, it's okay. Mm-hmm. But if you go in expecting Venom, wanting Eddie Brock, which I did. I wanted to see those.
You're not going to find it here.
No. Yeah.
I'm similarly on the same camp, but I have a fondness for stupid films. Venom is one of those films, but same thing. I think given that I'm not as much of a hardcore Spider-Man fan as you yourself. I'm slightly forgiving on it. That doesn't mean I'm going to give it a good score either.
Yeah.
But I feel that with enough effort, if if Sony were to put in a little more effort on that on that swing
and not hesitate.
And look, we're not asking for a home run. We're not even asking that.
No. I mean, we're not.
Yeah, no, we're not. We're definitely not. But at the very least, give us get yourself to first base.
And that's being really generous too.
Yes,
extremely generous.
Yes, if they put
though.
If they put in that effort, they could make it to first base. Hell, maybe
I'd be happy with first base.
Yeah,
I could live with that.
Yeah, and if they really though, I wish for a second base, but But that first
That would
base,
be good.
it's
But if he gets to first base,
that would be the
A
sweet
for
spot.
effort. A for effort. Okay, like.
Yeah. So that being said, I believe that I'm gonna give Venom a 6 out of 10. Like, it's entertaining, but
I think I just.
I wanted, like, but honestly, I wanted more.
We deserved more, didn't we? But
We did. And hopefully, when the sequel comes around, I hope that Sony like starts to swing, like just go for that first base. And with that, that's gonna do it for our review on Venom. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, and don't forget to share. Follow us on Twitter for the latest updates and memes. My name is Eric,
I'm Jesse.
and we'll see you next time.